I'll showcase how I optimize my ad account to help me scale to $100,000 per month. So we've just launched new ads on the account. So if we look at the creative tracker here, we launched on the 12th. So the starting budget was $166 per day. So that paces me at 5,000 bucks per month. But Facebook or Meta decided to overspend, which is completely fine. Let's go over some general baseline metrics in terms of who's my ICP, what CPL I should be expecting, cost per book call I should be expecting, and etc. In terms of a B2C offer, usually cost per book call is pretty cheap. It could be less than 50 bucks, even $100, which is fine, which is good. For a B2B offer, it could get pretty expensive. An average is going to be around 200 or 300. That's usually average. When it comes to on the higher end, either a high ticket or a funnel that has a lot of friction, it can be 300, 400, 500, which is fine. In terms of my economics, my math breakdown, in terms of what's my cost per qualified book call on a show that I need a hit, the maximum that I can take in order to get a 2x ROAS is almost $1,000, so 900 bucks in terms of cost per qualified book call. So I'm completely fine if my cost per book call is very expensive. Obviously, if I was running a lower friction funnel, like let's say a profile visit ad or a story sequence ad or a DM ad, the cost per book call is going to be very, very cheap. However, there's going to be a downside in terms of quality. So it is actually the cost per qualified book call. So right now, what I'm running is a VSL call funnel. So before I go through the metrics and optimizations, I'll walk you through how my VSL funnel looks like. So they're going to see this ad. They're going to see an ad that looks like this. They're going to see it either on Facebook or Instagram. And then they're going to be, when they click on Learn More, they get redirected to a lead form. So lead form has their ICP call out. Are you a coach or consultant? Yes or no? I have it as no and yes for good reason. This will just slightly improve the quality. Not so much, but usually people want to automatically click on the first button. So I want to make sure people are at least taking a split second to actually read it through. So no, if they click on no, they're going to automatically be disqualified. The lead is going to be thrown away and it's not going to season the pixel, which is good. So this is a conditional logic question. If they click on yes, then they'll proceed to the second question, which is, what is your Instagram handle? For me, in my particular situation, I wouldn't do this for a lot of my clients, but for my particular situation, I do want to build up my organic, but I also have a lot of authority in terms of my organic because of the case studies. I have a lot of case studies on my profile, and I do post them every day or every few days or so. So I want to make sure I'm sending them over some Instagram Reels, and they can see a bit of authority on my page itself. So for a lot of clients, I wouldn't do this because a lot of my clients don't have an organic, but for me, I'm slowly building up an organic. Very small right now, but it's still something. Then they're going to be pushed down to an email, full name and phone number, so they can enter it. And then they'll be directed to book a call. So when they click on book a call, they actually land on my landing page, my VSL. So I have my pre-headline, I have my headline, I have my post-headline. So trust funnel, unique mechanism, $9.7 million. So it's going to be a case study-led VSL, 11.5 months. 11.5 months, it actually took close to around 12 months, but 11 and a half months, give or take. But having that 0.5 will just make the person question, having that split second of even thought. Then I have a type form here. I have to make sure that everything is before the fold. Before the fold means when you scroll on your page, everything has to be shown. So are you a coach or consultant spending $5K a month on ads? So this is my ICP. So it's not only coaches and consultants, it's already people who are already spending money. So in the B2B space, you'll get a $200, $300 cost per book call. But if it's going to be a bit more qualified, so people who are spending money. So if they're spending $5K per month on ads, they already know everything in terms of marketing. So they're already really seasoned and already have seen a lot of marketing ads. They're probably making more than $25,000, $50,000 per month in their business itself. So that's going to be a very, very small TAM, target addressable market. So this is going to be type form, and then it just directs to a Calendly. Okay, so that is my funnel. That's an average CPL, that's an average cost per book call. That is what's my cost per book call, like the maximum I can take to get a 2x ROAS, which is very expensive, 900, which I'm completely fine with. What else should we cover? Okay, let's cover when we launch these new set of ads. So I launched 10 sets of ads. I have it as an ABO campaign. I have one ad per ad set to expedite the creative testing phase. So we launched it on the 12th of August. On the left-hand side, you'll see the spend. Even though I set it at $166 per day, and it did mention that it's gonna, in the last 7 days or so, it should average around 1,162. But as you can see here, Meta overspent, and I didn't even touch it. It just overspent, which is completely fine. I gave it 7 days before I even touched the ads. So spent $1.5 thousand so far in the last 7 days, and I got 44 leads, at a 34.73 CPL. CPQL is roughly around the same, so it's around $38, $39, which is completely fine. I was expecting, $50 in terms of a CPQL. You don't have to check out this or this yet. My setter is going to be updating this shortly. We want to look at spend and then also leads and then the CPL, yeah. So that's really good. So we can see how much it was spending, 247, 238, 263, and then it was, I think Meta just spent lower for yesterday. Depends what time zone you're in. Right now it's August 19th. So I gave it 7 full days of data and to analyze what is the best performing ads, what are the underperforming ads, so I can learn from it. So if we can go here on the right hand side, I have it at maximum, I have my column set. We want to look at CPL to understand what the best performing ads, what the underperforming ads are. In terms of my CPQL, I was checking out the leads on my Slack. That was from Zapier to Slack. So I can see the actual quality and confirm it with my setter. Quality is pretty damn good in terms of all the leads. Around like 95% of them are very, very qualified. 5% of them are like funnel hackers, which is completely fine, which is normal. If it exceeds, 15 or 25%, I would revisit in terms of your ads. So we're running a VSL call funnel. The audience is broad USA, which is completely fine. We're running an ABO campaign. If we look at the campaign structure, maximize number of leads, dynamic is off, 16.66 started, and US and exclusions as well, and then English, UK, US. For a VSL call funnel, you typically want to go for automatic placements. When you're using different types of other funnels, like a DM funnel, profile visit ad funnel, and stuff like that, you do want to make sure you are using targeting, because I've done that A/B test before, even like story sequence ads. You want to make sure, because like for those lower tier friction funnels, it's going to be a cheap CPL, cheap cost per book call, but in terms of quality, it's really, really bad. So you need to watch out for that. So you have to be flexible in terms of what your targeting is. So it's pretty simple, broad, advantage plus, but it also depends what funnel you're running. Okay, now let's optimize the ads. So we're on maximum, so I can see how much was spent and then the cost per result. So amount spent 7 days worth of data, which is good. But now let's look at the right-hand side and let's organize it by meta leads. So this is going to be by, by how many leads, or the highest number of leads from a single ad. As you can see on the left-hand side, I have a specific naming convention. I have 10 ad sets here, which means I have 10 ads. You typically want to run 3 to 5 ads per ad set. Depends how you want to structure your campaign. There's no winning setup. You just have to optimize it differently. So 36, I can see the codes here. The codes here, the VV, this is actually the creative tracker code that I have, so I can relay it with the creative team or my editor to figure out like, okay, this is working, let's create more of these. This is not working, let's learn from it, and let's make sure we remove it from the pipeline. Okay, so now we want to optimize the ads. So optimizing is just like looking at the ads that are working well and turning off the ads that are not doing so well. So you organize by the results. When it comes to optimization for your campaigns, it really depends, because for you have to look at your quality. If you see that all the leads are really bad quality, you want to optimize it differently. For me, my quality is really, really solid. So I would just optimize it as is in terms of what I can see on the ad account itself. So gave it 7 days worth of data. We have the results, the high, like in alpha order. So the most leads versus the least amount of leads. I can see on the right hand side, the average CPL is 34 bucks. I can see the best performing one is a $17 CPL, and the lowest performing one is a 78 CPL. Oh, just some background information in terms of what I sell. I service coaches and consultants or anybody in the high ticket space. If they sell anything online that's high ticket, more than $3,000, $5,000, and my ICP are rich people who are spending already a lot of money on ads, at least 5,000 bucks a month on ads. In terms of what I sell done for you one-to-one consultation. So I work with some of the biggest guys in this space that you guys may know: Kai Bax, Serge Katarian, Jordan Platine. Even showcased my $10 million case study on Sanders Stages, like old course back then. Even worked with Amazon.com. So those are the people that I work with. So it's an info product. I don't sell no course, it's service. Okay, so now let's optimize the ads. I can see here most amount of leads. So we can see that this, and yeah, these 4 ads are the best performing ads. But now let's take a look at the underperforming ads. Right, I can see that this, and this are underperforming, right? Because on the last 7 days, I can see that the CPL is a bit more expensive, right? 51, 51, 50, 77, 78. So this is when I look at the 7-day view, right? 7 days, including today. So if I do last 7 days and I do here, today, this will give me a good benchmark. I can see like, okay, these are still pretty good, the top performing ones. These are really, really bad. So that's the last 7 days. However, before I turn them off, let me look at the ads if there's anything in the last 2 or 3 days that has been about to take off, like slowly improving. So we don't want to turn them off hastily. So this is the last 7 days. But let me look at, let's say, 15th, 16th, and 17th. So 3.5 days. I can see that, oh, video 30. This is slowly picking up. It's a lower CPL than the average. And it's not at 40 bucks. So let's remove this. And let's keep these underperforming ones. Last 7 days, let's confirm. It's going to be, let me confirm. So it's going to be these 3 underperforming ads. Let me double check everything. Friday, today. Oh, this one as well. So last 3.5 days, video 34 is underperforming too because the CPL is very expensive. Let's check out last 7 days, including today as well, just to double check. 51, 52, 77, 78. And we decided not to turn off video 30 because in the last 3.5 days, it performed better. See, video 30, 26 CPL, while the average is 31. So we want to make sure we turn this off. So you just click on this button, you click on turn off, you click on publish. Okay, now we have 4 ads that are off. By the way, we spent $16.66 for each ad set, right? So like 10 ad sets, $166 per day, pacing for 5K per month. But, so we turned off these ads. Now we have to reallocate these ads, right? So also, not only that, I do want to spend more money on these ads. I want to spend a maximum of $333 per day, which on a 30-day cycle, that averages around 10,000. So I want to double up my ad spend. So what should I do here? So I turned off 4. I know that each ad set is at $166.66 per day, and I do want to increase it. So you can see here. So what we want to do here is, I already increased this one. We want to go here, go click on edit, and I'm going to double the ad spend. The reason why I can double the ad spend is because the ad set budget is pretty low. If you're spending like $500 per day on an ad set, you don't want to do this. You want to just do 20%. But for me, since the budget's very, very low, I can double up the spend. I can be a bit more aggressive until you're spending maybe like $100 per day. So we do 16.66. Let's double up. So 33.32. So now we're going to spend a total of $199.92, around $200. So we're going to scale all of these up. We scaled up 6 of them, but now we want to get the best performing. Now we want to relay this to the creative team. So how do we do this? So what we do, we look at, now we go to the creative tracker and we update the creative sheets. So we have 10 ads here. I've launched all these 10 ads, right? All you can see here. I have the codes on the left-hand side. I have the specific themes. I have the angles, I have it's a video ad when it was launched, and then the actual file itself. Okay, so we can see that video 29, 34, 31, 28 are underperforming ads. So 29, we want to look at here, and then we want to say underperformer. If we go to 34, 31, 34 is underperformer, and then 31 is underperformer. So we go here, winner up. We don't want that. Underperformer, and then the 28 is an underperformer. So we go here, we click on underperformer. So now let's look at the winners. So winners, let's go to last 7 days, including today too. So we can get full data. I can see that the best performing ad is video 36, video 33, video 32, video 37. Reason why? It's 9666. This is only 4, so this is kind of like a medium performer, so I wouldn't click on this yet. But in terms of these, it's 9666. So like it's quite a bit of good ads. So we have 4 winning ads out of 10. So it's 36, 33, 32, 37. So let's go to 36. So this is a winning ad. 37 is a winning ad, which is good. And then 32, 33. We're going to look at these ads. Winner and winner. Now let's briefly analyze what is underperforming and what is winning. So in terms of what is not performing well, we can see that hyper animation ads for this specific week is not performing well. Previously, it did work very, very well. Not only that, an animation, an ICP, so an ICP callout plus a pain point did not do well, and that pain point callout was show up rates. So we can know from like next scripts that we don't want to talk too much about show up rates. I can see the best performing ones are an ICP callout, so coaches and consultants, and then who are struggling with lead quality. I can see that's a winning ad. I can see a case study ad that's doing well, but it says low, which means I have a low figure. So I'll give you an example. For a case study, you can have a call out of like, oh, I only generated $25,000. Then a medium would be I generated $100,000. And then a very high one would be I generated $9.7 million. So I wanted to get a gauge of like what has the best performing leads, or like the most amount of leads based on low, medium, and high when it comes to the case study call out. So low is actually performing well. Medium did not do well. And then for the high, it's so-so. So I can't say if it's a winner or not. Okay, now let's look at this. 36, 37. So animated an Alex Hermosi type ad. So this is belief shifting. And it seems like these are the 2 winners. This is probably because Alex Hermosi released his webinar 2 days ago, a day and a half ago. And I think that's why I'm just lucky. Like I didn't know I knew he was going to release a webinar. But I didn't know it was going to get attributed too much in terms of ads. Like it decreased my CPL in terms of the best performing one by 50%. $34, $17 CPL, which is absolutely nutty, which is good. Thank you, Alex Hermosi. Okay, so that's how I would turn off the ads. That's how I would determine if it's a winner or a loser. Now we have, how much spend we have? Right now we're spending around $200, so $199. So that gives us a $199 minus $333 because I want to spend $10,000. So that gives me $134 of extra spend. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create an I'm going to create a CBO campaign, and then I'm going to put these 6 ads into it, and I'm going to put it as broad US, and then I'm going to put the spend pretty high. So let's set that up. I'll go click active ads. Okay, let's create the campaign from scratch. So I click on campaign. Let me copy and paste this. Campaign. Okay, so I click on create. I click on leads. I click on continue. In terms of optimization, you have to optimize differently based on what your account mentions. Some accounts I see that optimizing for schedules is good. For me, optimizing for leads is usually default. But optimizing for schedules is good for good reason. So HD conversions, and then this is going to be a CPO, and then this is going to be for the 19th. So how much money can I spend on that CPO? So let me pull this out. So I'm spending $199 right now on those current ads. I need to spend $134. So I'm going to do Advantage campaign budget on, and then I'm going to put this as $134. So $134 per day. And I'm going to have this as broad USA. USA, and they're going to have this as BPA, best performing ads. And then I'm going to click on instant forms. I'm going to click on my page, maximize number of leads, not a dynamic creative, ad sets 134, spending limits no, do not touch. I'm going to click on English just to make sure people are slightly a bit more qualified. Click on yes. Then I do want to have exclusions. So I'm going to exclude all my retargeting audiences, which is not a lot because my page is pretty small. Okay, Advantage plus placements, sounds good, easy. Okay, now we want to go for the best performing ads. So I'm going to click on this, I'm going to click on this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to collate the post IDs itself. So I can actually, post IDs, what it means is some of the ads, right? The old ads here, they already have likes and comments. So each ad itself has its own ID. So you can see here, it has, this is not a good example. Let me find a good example. Here, this has 4 likes. It's not good, it's not a lot, but it's something. So it has its own ID. If I just get the string of numbers, so it's the actual ad, the actual code of this ad, and I just run it as an ad, so run it as an existing post, it's actually going to feed the data onto this ad as well, even though it's a separate campaign, separate ad set. So it's all going to feed into each other, and I don't have to restart the creative testing phase. So I'm going to collate all those codes, and I'll be right back. But let me show you, I'll show you how to do it on one, and then I'll do it off camera for the rest, because it's kind of boring. Okay, so you click on the ad, you click on this, you click on Facebook post with comments, and then you will get a URL, a string like this. So it's either going to be this number or this number. So I copy and paste this number, I go to the ad account, and then I that is video 36, so VV36. I can go here on the CBO campaign, the best performing campaign, and then I can click on create an ad, use existing post, turn this off, and then select post or enter post ID, click on this, and click on this. Now it's gonna use the same exact post. You can see that there are 4 likes here, so it's the same exact one. And it is the Alex Hermosi one. Okay, now let me add the post ID code, and then let me add the naming convention, because I am pretty meticulous on when it comes to this, just to make sure I can see on the back end which ad is converting well. Because on Zapier, I have the UTM set up, so I can see exactly which ad it came from on what specific campaign, ad set, and also ad level. But on the ad level, I can see the specific video code, the ad copy code, and the landing page that I'm currently using it. Now I can see the specific post ID, since that's a winner. So I'm going to do it for the rest of the 6 ads off camera, and then I'll show you before I publish it. All right, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got the post ID for these. So let's make sure that all the ads have the specific post ID. So let's just double check. I'll just start it from scratch. Enter post ID here. And I go here. Copy and paste. Click on enter post ID. Now let's do the next one. Just double checking everything. Enter post ID. Let's double check everything is good. Enter. Okay, let's double check, because like these numbers look all the same. Majority of them. So let's double check. 24402 Okay, these are all good. Okay, so that is in a CBO campaign. Budget's going to be different. We have the post IDs, so everything is good there, and we're just going to let it rip. CBO campaign. So now we're spending 134 here. We got spent 1.5K. We're going to click on publish. Oh, before I do that, I need to put a UTM. So UTM is just the tracker. So I can track exactly everything in terms of the campaign, the ad sets, and the ad level. And also on the ad level, I can see exactly what video it is, what ad copy, as I mentioned, and also the landing page. So we click on this, double check everything, ad copy looks good, it's the same thing, and then click on this, and CTA, let's see, what's the problem? Oh, everything is good. Okay, takes a while. Let's double check, video, LP3, this is LP3, everything is good, and we click on publish. So that's how you do it. So today we covered in terms of how I optimize the ads. I gave it 7 days before I made any changes. I didn't even touch anything for 7 days straight. Showcase in terms of my specific situation, CPL, how I would find winners, how I would find losers, how would I would relay that to the creative team with a simple creative tracker. It doesn't have to be too complex. Gave you a bit of insights of like for Meta, it was overspending even though it's set at $166 per day. But that's completely fine. I showcased how to actually scale up on the ad sets when it comes to like lower budgets on the ad set level if it's spending, you know, 16 bucks a day per ad sets. I showed you my specific campaign structure, which is quite specific. You don't have to set it up this way. I showcased how to scale up a lower spend, so from $16 to $33. I showcased how to get the post IDs. I showcased how to create a CPO campaign and put in the BPA campaign, best performing ad campaign. I showcased why specific ads are working, why specific ads are not working, specific to my situation. I showcased like a specific naming convention, and yeah, so right now we're originally paced to spend 5K per month. Now we're gonna spend $10,000 per month. And yeah, let's not touch it for 7 days, 14 days or so, and we just let it rip. Expectations wise, we should see the CPL fluctuate a bit for the first 3, 4 days, 5 days or so. But for me, I don't even look at this. Just let it rip, and then it'll just self-optimize, and then the performance will get better. But hopefully this helps. This is a bit technical. I was about to just do this myself and not just show anybody because like this is just what I do on a day-to-day. But I was like, okay, maybe I do want to show a bit of technical, and this could be valuable for people that are that like a bit of boring videos. Anyways, so much love and talk soon. Peace, guys. Bye.